Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We have been gone for a minute.
Yeah, I've been a little busy, but here we are again, back with a little more has-been sports talk.
Yeah. Have no fear. We have returned. So, we have a lot to cover today. As we all know, the NBA playoffs have started. Also, you guys haven't heard our thoughts from the NCAA championships, both men's and women's. Both good games. NFL draft is this week. Unreal.
Came fast.
Came very fast. So there's a lot to unpack there. We might sprinkle in a little bit of baseball, but as we all know, the season is so long. And if we try to update you every week, so many things are going to be different next week.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a long season. Nobody gives it their all for the entire season. Everybody kind of coasts a little bit, so a lot of fluctuation.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about NCAA winners.
Yeah. So, let's go into that first. That was kind of our...
Just because it's been so long, we didn't mean to...
Didn't mean to keep you waiting.
But, life...
But we did.
Life comes at you.
But we know you guys have all been sitting on the edge of your seats just waiting to hear what we have to say.
That UConn is your national champion.
All right, you were right. I'll give you that.
Let's go.
But at the end of the day, I loved watching Purdue lose.
I liked watching UConn win that much better.
That's fine. They were a really good team.
They were. I mean, they dismantled Illinois and, they did whatever they wanted to do the entire tournament.
Yeah.
So that was impressive.
I doubted it. I hated on them. I did everything I possibly could to not believe. And after watching the championship game, I will officially admit I was wrong.
Being able to admit that you were wrong is one thing, but always being wrong?
That's just rude.
It's all on how you want to interpret it.
I guess. Anyway.
UConn ran through the tournament. Awesome to see. Actually, they were my pick in both of my tournament brackets that I had filled out. So, yeah. Looks like I need to pick the winner again next year.
I did not pick them. I had them going to the Final Four, which is respectable, I think. Yeah, I didn't think they were that good. I really didn't.
Yeah.
And then, watching that last game, it was so clear.
It was apparent. I thought it was apparent the entire tournament.
I didn't believe it, and I should have. But
they had some losses throughout the year that were, they lost to, Creighton. Did they lose to Marquette once, I believe?
I don't remember.
But there were a couple teams that played them tough.
Yeah.
But then let's go on over to the women's tournament.
Yep.
Where
South
Carolina just was so much bigger.
I don't say they were just too big.
Yeah, Iowa could not match up with that.
No, it was tough.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with the same way with like UConn and Purdue. Like UConn's guards were bigger. UConn's guards could do a whole lot more. Obviously, Edie and
Dude, I'm still not in on
Klingon?
Edie.
Edie did what he wanted. He did what he had to do in the national championship game. But Klingon he's more agile, and and so he did a good job. Even though Edie still had 30-some points, 40, whatever he had.
It became very apparent that their game plan was just to let Edie kind of do what he wants. Just don't let anybody else.
UConn's guards were so much better, so that's what
Exactly.
they could get away with that.
And that's what I mean. Is like it was like that was very apparent that was the game plan.
Yeah, just as the team,
kind of let Edie do what he feels.
And that's kind of how the women's tournament went. Mm-hmm. Like Caitlin Clark's going to do her thing, but the South Carolina team overall was just bigger, and Iowa did not have an answer for their size.
No, not at all. It was still a good game.
Right.
The first half was super interesting. Iowa jumped out to that big early lead and made it look like it was going to be a game, and then about halfway through that first half, you started to see them slow down a little bit. South Carolina just stayed hanging around, and then the second half was just a totally different game. Camila Cardoso is good. She's good. Did you watch the draft?
I did.
Same.
I sure did.
We all knew that Caitlin Clark would be 1 overall, but...
Yeah, but after watching the draft... Like, there were a good amount of big names.
I say a lot of names that I actually recognized that I was kind of surprised.
In women's basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Caitlin Clark goes 1, Cameron Brink goes 2.
Mm-hmm. The Steph Curry connection there was kind of cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that was interesting. And then Cardosa goes. Reese goes.
Mm-hmm. What the girl from UConn went to the Fever with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
can't remember her name, but I recognized her.
Right. She reminds me of that Aaliyah Boston chick.
Kate Martin got drafted. That was very surprising.
She came out of the crowd.
Mm-hmm. That was really surprising.
That was pretty cool to see. And then UConn had another chick in the second round get drafted.
Yeah, the guard.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just interesting to see.
Yeah. No,
there were a lot more names that were recognizable than other years.
Right. And I'll say it time and time again. I think this draft class is going to be what defines a true turning point for the WNBA. In terms of popularity, this is going to be where viewership is going to really, really change.
I hope, because that's an argument that's happening for. It's been happening for a lot of years.
Yeah.
That the argument's been going on about men's and women's sports and popularity and how that goes, but hopefully this is the start to them getting increased viewership, and I think that, like Dawn Staley said it the best, like Caitlin Clark, thank you for what you did to the game of basketball and
that's the
women's.
Thing. That's one thing that's really been bothering me recently, though, is all of these former WNBA players or current WNBA players just trying to completely discredit everything that Caitlin's done and are just trying to intimidate her about the WNBA. It's like, just give her roses, She may not be the greatest of all time, but you know what? She did something that hadn't been done before and engaged a nation in women's basketball.
Yeah, she's
She
not.
had Travis Scott coming to Iowa games, dude.
And like Jason Sudeikis,
Yeah.
and I mean that, and she
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, I mean she definitely made an impact on the game. She brought a lot of views to the game and everything like that. But like the foundation of women's basketball was not started on.
No, and I'm not
clearly
saying
there
that,
was a lot, but
I'm
she
saying
definitely,
she has popularized it and
and
got
I
people
think
watching.
I think she's getting the recognition that she needs, like and deserves. You know, she's one of 3 people that has a signature shoe now in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Behind Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and she hasn't even played one game yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's getting the popularity. She's getting the respect. Maya Moore, who's well known, like she's come out and met. That's who she wanted to kind of image her game around.
Yeah.
Like, that was her role model.
Right.
Caitlin's role model. So that she finally got to meet her. She came out, you know, and that's so she didn't lay the foundation, but she has created a stepping stone to the next level for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. But it would have been sweet to see him win.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's all in the recruiting classes. I think, as bad as it sounds, I don't know that back-to-back years going to the championship game, I don't know that it's going to be enough to help the recruiting class at Iowa.
They've already got a transfer.
They got
that girl transfer from Villanova.
I just feel like it was so much Caitlin Clark.
I don't know. Like
You've got a good support cast, but like I don't know.
They're not going to be just like South Carolina, UConn. They're not going to be like
No.
that, you know. But they've already got people transferring over. They won a girl from Villanova that was pretty good. She transferred over. I mean, the transfer portal is going to do a lot of things like it has for the men's.
Sure.
So there's already a lot of people on the move for the men's. There's a lot of people on the
Stupid amount
move
of
for the
people.
women's. John Calipari has a new team. Kentucky finally moved on. We were wondering when they were going to. We thought John Calipari was going to stay, and now he's found a new home.
Good for
And
Kentucky.
I hope that Mark Pope absolutely gets the job done in Kentucky.
I mean, it can't be worse, right?
No, I mean, yeah, you can. I mean,
you can, but you're Kentucky.
but I hope
If you're
that
a
he gets the
competent
job done.
coach and not just a recruiter, you can do well.
I think he's going to do well. I hope
Yeah.
he's going to do well.
We'll see. Anyway, I think that kind of summarizes
Yeah, that concludes it for the
where we are at.
college season.
Yeah. Now we look forward to the next. I don't know that we'll dive too much into college football when that time rolls around. That's an area that I just don't know a ton about.
I don't follow it or not.
I want to. I want to get into it, which brings me to my another thing I'd like to mention, and I'd like to make public to all of our listeners. I made the decision that I needed a secondary college team. And I did not go the traditional route. As you all know, I am a North Carolina fan, and I started thinking to myself, well, Chet's got Syracuse, but he's also a backup U of I fan. I'm like, I need another team.
And you're going with what?
And I am taking, and hear me out, the Iowa Hawkeyes. It's
Jeez.
local-ish. My wife is from Iowa, so we go over there a fair amount. Their football team is not like, their defense is always great. The offense, no. So I'm not just hopping a bandwagon of a top college football team. Their men's basketball team hasn't been super relevant in the last however many years. The women's basketball team, I think, is going to take a drop. So I think it's fair for me to claim Iowa as my second team.
I mean, you can do what you want.
Because Bradley doesn't count. Bradley doesn't have all the sports and stuff that other schools do. I mean, I'm always at heart a Bradley fan, but
yeah, they're not a major.
But if you're talking about like actual teams that like might get televised, I think I found my two. I don't know. People that are listening in the comments, who are your two teams? Everybody has two.
Do they though?
I think most people do.
Or just
at
different?
Least, no, most people do. They've got their primary team, and then it's like you don't even have to call it like your secondary team. It's just like, what team do you have a soft spot for? Like what school, just like kind of in your heart of hearts, do you kind of pull for them when you watch them? Everybody's got one. Just don't say Gonzaga.
Yeah.
That's
my brother-in-law.
That's gross. That's just disgusting. Anyway.
So, yeah, that's it for college sports.
Let's move on.
We're about done for the year.
Yes.
College baseball is about the only thing. Baseball and softball about the only thing. But
I don't pay enough attention to college baseball until pre-draft stuff comes around. And then you're like, okay, who's going? And you get like a guy like Paul Skeens, and it's like, okay, the national championship's fun to watch.
There's just so many dudes. Many dudes.
I do like watching the college baseball World Series. Like that's fun. Yeah. But
there's just so many dudes and so many teams and everything like that. That baseball has a lot. It's just like college football. There's a lot.
That's
to follow.
True.
A lot of dudes under the radar.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move into a little bit of NBA. As we all know, the playoffs have officially started. We have our 16 teams decided. Mm-hmm. We are on, as of recording this, it is Sunday. We are on day 2 of the official playoffs. Games started yesterday with the first round. Right now, it is about 9:15, so we got the old Pelicans OKC game on. So we're at the last game of the day, and things are going to get real interesting this year, I think. You've got a lot of really young, fun teams playing really well. You got a lot of older teams where injuries are starting to hit them at a bad time. You got some teams that are high-level teams that are performing exactly to expectations. So there's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some different teams atop the standings.
Like you just said, seeing OKC as a 1 seed is crazy.
With really they only have one All-Star.
Yeah.
So, like, that's...
Realistically, though, yeah, they only have one All-Star, but there's, like, 3 or 4 guys on that team that are All-Star caliber, just they're so young.
That's false. There's not.
No way. No way.
Holmgren will get there.
That's what I mean. Okay. And Williams?
No chance.
No, dude, stop it. Stop.
No chance.
Stop. They also have like one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA in Isaiah Joe, which helps. Granted, that's not all-star, but they just have a lot of really good guys.
Exactly, but not all-stars or superstars. So
you didn't say superstar. You said all-star. There's a difference.
And
there's a difference.
Okay. They don't have either.
They've got guys that will potentially get there, is what I'm saying.
I doubt it.
Jay will.
Holmgren will be an all-star.
He's gonna
SGA
dude. He's gonna be a
all-star.
superstar. Like he's.
Other than that, they won't have another all-star.
We'll see. We shall
But
see.
it's
Chet.
interesting. It's interesting to see them at the top. It's interesting to see the Timberwolves at the 3 spot. The Warriors out. You know,
Yeah,
it's just.
Do you
it's
think-
interesting to see these teams switch up a little bit.
Do you think there's any chance Clay retires?
No,
You don't think so?
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. So the West is interesting to see, changed up a little bit. The Lakers down at the bottom, you know, they're in the 7 spot.
I'll tell you who looked real good yesterday. The Timberwolves.
They did. They definitely did.
It was gross.
And the Clippers look good, you know, like they're like Dallas is going to win a game or two. But I think Clippers will go through that. But that's interesting. The East, I mean, I don't
The East
see,
is just wide open.
I don't see anybody competing with Boston.
I
Like,
if Milwaukee plays the way they did tonight, if they can put that together when Giannis is back, they're any bit as good as Boston. It's just if.
yeah, it's a big if, but I mean, it's nice to see Indiana in there again, Orlando in there. Like those guys having a lot of young people. Like that's real interesting to see. So
It's really unfortunate for the Knicks with Julius
Yeah.
Randle going out. I feel bad.
but they still took game 1.
They did, but they're not going to have enough to get through the East. Is the thing, like, it's really unfortunate because this was really honestly the year for them. Like the only team they really needed to get through was Boston. Milwaukee has not been playing at their best. The rest of the East is just they're not any superpower team that is impossible to beat. Boston probably would have been the only one that they needed to get through, and if they had Julius, they had a shot. Without him, I just don't see it. And it's just too bad.
I don't see them beating them with Julius.
I think they could.
I don't see him beating him with. I don't see him beating without. I mean, I'm a Heat fan, but I don't think they have it in them this year.
That's fair, I guess.
You know, Jimmy's hurt. I mean, he's still gonna play, but the Heat just don't have it. And I've been saying for a long time now that Boston's just gonna run through it all, and I'm gonna stick with that. It's just unfortunate they have to match up with the Heat first round. So,
We'll see. I don't know. I think things can get crazy. I really do. I think there's going to be things that we don't expect.
I think
And
LeBron is going to get an early exit,
I hope LeBron gets an early exit.
and I'll be intrigued to see what happens for next year.
I don't even want to talk about the Bronny situation.
I don't know.
Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to draft him in the hopes of getting LeBron. And I think that is the most bogus thing ever. But oh well, that's just me. I won't deep dive into that. Anyway, who's your pick to win, Chet? Who makes it out of this round?
8 teams. Don't ask me that. Like, who makes it out of this round? 8 teams. Like, what? I mean, I've been saying this whole time that Boston is.
This round. So you got Boston, all right. Milwaukee Pacers.
Milwaukee.
Okay. Knicks Sixers.
I think the Sixers are going to come back and win that.
Okay. If Embiid keeps getting hurt, no. What's the other one? Oh, Cavs Magic.
Cavs.
Okay. All right. Other side. OKC Pelicans.
Man, it'd be a real shame if New Orleans.
Could you imagine if the
It'd be
Heat
a
knocks
real
off the one
shame
just
if New
right
Orleans
away?
just comes out and wins. Yeah, I just don't think they have it in them. I don't think
No.
they have enough people to score the basketball. Brandon Ingram with Zion being hurt, like that doesn't help.
No.
Like that doesn't help them at all. That was tough scene for them when they lost to the Lakers in the play-in tournament, you know. So I'm gonna have to go OKC there. It'd be interesting if they did win, though.
I'm with you. I think OKC is going to take it.
Then Denver's gonna beat the
Yeah.
Lakers.
So here's my thing. I feel like everybody's making it seem like Denver is just impossible to beat, and
No.
I don't see it that way at all. Not to mention, any of you are Denver fans, that is the most boring team to watch. It's miserable.
But they win.
And I hate it. I want to be entertained. It's just me. I don't know.
So they win that.
Tim's Sons.
I don't think Minnesota has enough. I'm going Phoenix.
So we've disagreed on 2 so far?
Yeah, I just don't think they have enough experience. Like they do have.
I don't care how much experience the
I
Suns
do like
have.
their team. I like their team. They've got Anthony Edwards. They've got Mike Conley. They've got Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. It's just I don't think they can.
I'm still yet to see this KD, Booker, Beal thing work.
Well, yeah, because it hasn't.
Because dudes can't stay on the floor together.
Everybody
when
is
they
still yet to see it.
when they do, I'm not
Yeah.
wowed,
Everybody has still yet to see that.
and I just don't think it's gonna happen.
That was
KD,
kind of like the KD. It's like, kinda
KD
like the,
ain't it. I'm sorry.
it was like the KD, Kyrie, and James Harden thing in Brooklyn. Like you waited for it for so long, but one of them was always going to be out.
This might be a hot take, but I feel like everybody still continues to call Kevin Durant one of the greatest, like one of the top 15, top 10 players of all time. I don't even think the dude deserves to be in the top 50.
Wow.
I really don't. Show me an accomplishment he's actually done on his own.
MVP
Okay,
when he was with OKC.
that's great. Get him a championship.
Finals appearance.
That's cool. Did he win?
No.
Exactly. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Did Charles Barkley win a championship? But he's still considered top however many of all
Do
time.
you see me arguing for Chuck? No.
No, but I mean, you can't just because he doesn't win. Like Damian Lillard, where's he fall?
Probably top 150, 100, 150.
Holy shit!
I don't know.
That's wild.
I don't know. I don't see it. You know, maybe he's top 25. I don't know. There's nothing about him that impresses me.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy that's 6'11" shoot that well.
That's cool. Everybody in the NBA does it now.
Not
But-
6'11".
Hell, you're right. Because now they're 7'2", 7'4".
And not as mobile.
Wembanyama is every bit as mobile. And I don't like Wembanyama either. Chet Holmgren's every bit as mobile.
No.
Oh, stop.
No way.
Stop.
No way. KD's faster than that. All right. Well, I'm taking the Suns.
Okay.
And then I'm taking the Clippers.
That's a bad pick. I don't know. I think the Mavs have it in them. I do.
Nope.
I do. But
Nope.
I don't know. So we disagree on I'm taking Timberwolves and I'm taking the Mavs.
You don't like my Knicks pick either, or my
I know, I'm just saying for this side. But the other side we had, I don't think the Sixers are going to beat the Knicks. Anyway,
we shall find out.
we shall see. What else did we have? Oh, NFL draft. Oh, I do want to bring it up. Isn't it crazy? Sorry, not football related. Isn't it crazy how quickly they came to a decision on the Shohei Ohtani situation?
Yeah.
How quickly that investigation concluded and how, oh, yeah, it was 100% the interpreter stealing money from Ohtani to be placing these bets. Ohtani had zero knowledge of this, as if Ohtani would just not notice $5 million missing from his bank account. It is unbelievable how stupid they think the general public is.
Yeah, I don't know. I was shocked to see the outcome of it, but
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Ooh.
I don't know. I'm just I still don't think I've been able to process that whole thing. Like
Hey, did you
I
say
haven't
home
been,
goods not
I haven't
mobile?
been able to. Okay, you saw it from a mile away. Way to block on a triple team.
It's a block. Block's a block.
Draft is Thursday.
Draft is Thursday.
NFL draft Thursday.
That is Thursday.
We're going to see firsthand how the Bears managed to mess up another team.
All
in another
starting
draft.
with taking Caleb Williams number 1 overall. That will be the start of the downfall of the 2024 Chicago Bears.
Can't wait.
It's going to be great.
The downfall's already started when they got rid of Justin Fields.
It's going to be great.
Frustrating.
But I get to find out who the quarterback of my future is, too.
Hope it's Josh Dobbs.
He's already gone, dude. It's like he's not even on the team anymore. We are rolling with Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall and Sam Darnold.
Sounds terrible. It sounds like a worse situation than the Bears.
It's purgatory, man. I tell you what.
Wow.
It's gross.
It does. It sounds gross.
Yeah.
On paper, it probably looks gross.
Yeah, it's worse.
And in person, it probably smells gross.
Yeah, probably.
That is a disgusting quarterback room.
So, I'm going to put it out there, I think I've made it very clear in previous episodes that my pick
Drake May
is Drake May.
should go to the Vikings. I think that'd be a good fit.
I think Drake May is the best overall prospect in this draft.
Woo!
I really do. I think he is the best, most talented quarterback.
Can somebody put a TV in front of this guy
But
so he can watch some sports?
I would say the other, probably best prospect quarterback-wise would be Jaden Daniels. I don't see Caleb Williams. I don't see J.J. McCarthy. I don't see Bo Nix or Penix. I don't see them working out. The sample size of what we've actually seen from J.J. McCarthy just isn't enough for me to be willing to make a move on it. At the end of the day, though, I'll trust my management to make the right pick. I trust my coach. I trust our GM that they'll get it right.
I think Bo Nix is better than Drake May.
Oh, that's just gross.
It's the truth.
I don't think so.
And the truth hurts.
I think Bo Nix is going to see a serious slide. I don't think he gets taken until late second, if not early third.
Well, I hope he proves you wrong.
He might. I don't know.
I'm not saying Drake May's bad.
He's
not.
more of a raw prospect. I'll give you that. But I think if he came to Minnesota, we would give him the year to sit. We'd probably start Darnold for the year unless May just wowed him. But I mean,
Shit, with that quarterback room, I think I'd let him play.
that's how you Bears that's how you Bears fans ruin your quarterbacks.
Oh, not at all. Are you kidding me?
Trubisky would have been good if you didn't just kill the man in the beginning.
Okay. But the thing is we signed some old guys too, you know, like we signed Nick Foles and they kind of had a little banter, a little
Hey,
playful,
time out.
little playful banter.
Time
you know?
out. You guys, I think, signed
Mike
the
Glennon.
highest paid third string quarterback
Mike
of
Glennon.
all time. That guy rode your bench making what, like 20 mil, 30 mil?
A good amount of coin. I still shocks me to this day.
Mike Glennon's a dude with a long neck, right?
It sure is.
Sure. I mean, I'm not saying the Vikings haven't had their fair share of bad quarterbacks, because we have. But
Yeah, your quarterback room right now.
yeah. But, I mean, if we're
Could be worse. You could be sitting
being
with an empty
careful
one.
and like truly developing a rookie quarterback, I don't mind letting Darnold start for the year.
No.
Who knows? Maybe we get lucky and he actually plays the way that he was supposed to when he was a third overall pick.
Let the kid play.
But I don't know. I think it's important to build structure and confidence, and throwing them out there and saying, fuck, like, figure it out.
I'm interested to see who the Bears take with their other picks. Like, clearly we all know what's going to go.
You think you'll
and
stay
what's
at
gonna
9?
happen. We have 3, too.
Huh?
They have the third pick, too, don't they?
No. You got 1 and 9.
I thought it was 1 and 3 and 9.
1 and 9. New England has 3.
And they need help.
I think that's who the Vikings are going to trade up with. I think they're going to trade with New England because New England recognizes a quarterback's not going to fix our problems. I think they're going to probably move back and target a receiver. Is just my thought. Or maybe they take Marvin
They got rid of
Harrison
their quarterback.
with 3.
They need a quarterback.
They don't need a quarterback because they don't have a receiver for that quarterback to throw to. You want to talk about ruining a young quarterback, give him 0 targets. Give him nobody who knows how to catch a football.
That's what a lot of people said about Jordan Love and the receivers after after Devontae Adams was gone, after all of those guys left.
Jordan Love sat for 4 years.
But what I'm saying, he finally got to start this year, and he did not have a receiving core that anybody thought.
Because he already sat for 4 years. You've been developing in an NFL program for 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so New England has to have a quarterback.
You don't have to take him this year.
Who are they going to play?
They've still got Zappy.
Terrible.
That's fine. Get some receivers. That's the thing, is a quarterback is not going to fix New England. That entire team is in shambles. Every position's bad. You're better off moving back and getting more draft capital and just stack up with first and second round talent than you are to take a Drake May, who everybody is saying is a more of a project quarterback that you're going to want to sit and let him develop. You're better off going ahead and using that high pick, maybe move back to 11 with the Vikings, and hopefully you luck into like Rome Odunze and take our other first round pick at 23 and build somebody else on the O-line or something. I don't know. But a quarterback's not solving any problems in New England.
Well, neither is a receiver with nobody to throw to. In order to get the football, the football has to be thrown to you.
Was Kirk Cousins a good quarterback?
Good, not great.
Okay. Bailey Zappi has shown he's decent.
Oh, no.
Justin Jefferson would be a superstar. It didn't matter who the quarterback was. If Marvin Harrison's as good as everybody says he is, I don't think he is. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the football. According to all the smart football people.
It definitely, it 100% depends.
Jamar Chase had his best game last season with Jake Browning at quarterback.
But Jamar Chase has had the best career when Joe Burrow's throwing to him.
That's fine. That's fine.
Devontae Adams looked like hot garbage
Still had 1,000
in
yards.
Oakland with no Aaron Rodgers and he had some bum throwing.
Still
to
had
him.
1,000 yards, and it's not Oakland. It's Vegas, baby.
Whatever.
I don't know. I think they're better off targeting other talent. I think they should move back. I don't think if you're New England, I don't think you're in any immediate hurry to be drafting a quarterback because I think there's so many other problems that need solved on that team.
Well, they need a lot of help.
I
understand that. I will admit that, but
so that's just my thoughts. I think they're the prime candidate for the Vikings to move up, or depending on. There's a chance they might actually go after J.J. McCarthy, yeah.
there it is.
And if that happens, I think it's going to go Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then number 3 is up for debate. I think Washington has changed their minds and started to like Daniels a little bit better, but I don't know. The Vikings, I think, are moving up. We're going to get a quarterback. If we don't, we'll probably end up going with like a Michael Penix. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a huge fan, but again, I'll trust the coaching staff and our GM.
There ain't no telling what the Bears are going to do.
That's it. I'm just tired of waiting and wondering. I'm just ready to know. So,
and we'll find out.
We're going to find out. And then we'll tell you all about our thoughts on our picks.
Oh, we'll let you know.
You'll know if we're upset or if we're happy.
For sure.
So,
might as well just consider me upset already.
Yeah, go ahead and chalk it up. I'm going to be optimistic. I still keep seeing stuff about trading away Jefferson. I don't know how I feel about that.
And then you would be in shambles. Emotionally.
I would be sad.
Shambles.
Definitely. But we'd probably be okay without him. I don't know. We still got the old hawk strap.
You don't win any games when you I've already said it. You can't get the football. And B, you have nobody else.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well. Moving on.
I think that kind of covered it.
No. We're going to talk about Cardinal baseball.
Oh, you want to talk about Cardinal baseball?
Well, of course
we're
I want to talk about baseball.
We're not good.
Not great. Let's go with that. We're not great.
We're not good.
We're in the bottom of the Central right now.
It's gross.
I know, but you have guys like Paul Goldschmidt who's not hitting the baseball, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Donovan, not as, like, solid as he has been. Hopefully that picks up. Arenado has been great. Nolan Gorman, not good at all. You know, like, when your best hitter right now, average-wise, is Mason Wynn, and I still think he needs some help at the plate. Defensively, I think he's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm kind of dying on a sword right now, saying he's not ready to hit when he's got the highest batting average on the team right now. But I just don't think other guys will come around. Like veteran guys like Goldschmidt and Arenado, they'll come around. Hopefully Gorman can figure it out. Contreras is actually doing decent.
If we just had a bullpen, man.
But-
if we just had pitching.
And really, that hasn't even been.
The starting pitching has not been good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's,
Sonny Gray's look good.
he lost today.
I know.
But, I
but
mean, he
he's
only
still-
gave up, what, two?
2.
You shouldn't.
They didn't score.
I would say, you shouldn't lose when
They didn't
you
score.
only give up 2 runs.
So, yeah, Sonny looked good in his 3 outings.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
That
That is the only bright spot. I was shocked the other day when I saw Lance Lynn had
He came out
a
shoved.
2.6 ERA.
I know he came out and shoved the other day,
It's
but
like, that's stupid.
as long as he gets to that 4th, 5th inning without giving up 4 home runs, because that's his go-to. But the Cardinals, they're going to start. They need
bread and butter.
They'll start hitting the baseball. When they start hitting the baseball, they'll start winning.
It's usually how it works.
But you got to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah, you got to do it.
It's actually it's neat to see Kansas City up and at the top, like near the top of their division.
The old Royals.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. I don't know. There's not really anybody that's on a tear, you know.
I check out in the start of baseball.
Like Baltimore, they look good. Speaking of Baltimore, Jackson Holiday's got to go back down.
Sounds about right.
I've seen some at bats. Pitch selection's not great. Not really hitting. I'm not saying he needs to hit for power, but his swings don't. His contact has no power behind it. So I'm not looking for him to knock it over the wall, but his base hits have to be with something behind it. So I think he needs to go back down just to purely get some more experience against those guys. I mean, in the few games that he played with AAA, he'd been doing fine, you know. I think he needs to get comfortable there, and then they need to bring him up. Like, it was exciting, you know. Like, he's done it. He's gotten his first hit. He's got his first RBI. But for him to have some success, I think he's just got to go back. Got to see some decent arms at that level before he comes up.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be successful, but the kid's only 20.
Yeah.
And if not, maybe he can figure it out. And if they do, they've got a lot of young talent. That's going to be sweet. And, I mean, they're up there, you know. They're up there right behind the Yankees in their standings. What's actually surprising is Cleveland. Cleveland's in the top of their standings with Kansas City right behind them.
The old Indians.
White Sox are bad.
Yeah, they're at least we're not the White Sox.
And then you got Houston at the bottom of their standings. Like, that's kind of
That
fun to see.
makes me happy.
I know.
Hopefully they stay there.
But there's a lot of teams that are hovering right around that 500 mark. Or just over it. So, yeah, baseball's young.
Very. There's a lot to go.
Baseball's young. Maybe next time, maybe next week, we'll check in and we'll see kind of like potential MVP candidates. At least I might.
I wouldn't know.
I might.
I don't know what to look for in an MVP candidate.
Do you have a 5-tool player?
Wasn't Billy Bean a 5-tool?
Could have been. It's all on how other people's perspectives.
Well,
of
they were
how a
wrong
player
about
went.
Billy.
If Otani can get away with betting Pete Rose, you should be able to.
100%. I will die on that hill. Let him into the hall.
He's knocking.
Anyway, yeah, baseball's a long season. We've got a lot to talk about there, and I probably won't pay attention now until October.
Some sports fan you are.
Yeah, it's too long.
You suck.
Yep, pretty much. I accept. Anyway, so keep your eye on the NBA playoffs. There's going to be a lot of good games. NFL draft. They just had old Chuck in a, what was that, a cycling suit?
Bad.
It was faked, but still hilarious. Anyway, yeah, so NFL draft next week, or this week on Thursday. So be watching that if you care about the NFL, and you'll see what your team's future looks like. It's always a fun time. It's a very long, but entertaining. So I expect a lot of movement in the draft. I think there's going to be a lot of people trading up. I think it'll be entertaining. So, Skull Vikes, Bears suck. And with that, I think that kind of wraps us up for the day, for this episode. So, I'm Adam.
And I'm a has-been.
See you folks later.